me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Bruh,
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 bruh.
bruh.
I can imagine what all my folks are saying.
Where's Gerod? Well,
He
I
late
left out
again?
the bad words.
What is show at? You see me answering my text messages.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Technology. That's what up. Technology.
I told you I already believe
Sabotaging.
that it only happens on this show. And that somebody is deliberately doing it. Are we online?
Yep.
So we had to sit here and wait
For it to come back online.
for that old piece of board. I can call it that. I don't own it. To come back on. So for all of y'all that thinking, oh, they ain't gonna make the show today, we sitting here.
We're sitting here waiting.
Just sitting here waiting. Technical difficulties that we had no control of.
That's the thing. When you are dealing with technology, you are its slave.
You are a slave to the rhythm. I feel like Grace Jones. I just need to get me a box haircut. Slave to the rhythm.
That was way
too cool.
Too
That was too cool.
That was too easy.
I know you're saying that's too cool. That's too cool.
No. Fool, maybe, but not cool.
Fool, yeah, you might be right on that one. Man.
How you think I feel when I'm at a gig and I've had a computer crash?
You had a what?
Be on a gig.
Had a
dance
computer
floor packed
crash?
and rolling.
Yeah.
Computer crash.
But to sit here. But I'm thinking to myself as I sit here and sit here and sit here. They must have knew some of the stuff we had to talk about today. But whatever that is, whatever it is, they need to stop. I'm going to just say it that way. So we won't start cussing no more. And now, look, all of my folks don't believe that it's on equipment.
Yes, indeed.
But I got witnesses, so I ain't worried about it.
Here I is.
What you say? Here I is. I got to go back into having the conversation and seeing where we are as New Orleans may have to go back and say, okay, we got to cut all these folks. And if you think about it, look at the time of year, what's happening in the world, and what do we do to make sure that we're taking care of our fellow man? Uh-oh. Yep. All of us. Now, here's the question. Because if you're not paying attention, the state said, we're going to step in. We're going to step in. And we're going to provide y'all with these food stamps. All of you except 53,000 of you.
But.
Yeah, that's the but.
That's a but. That's a Bertha butt.
That's a big old butt. And I said to myself, Self
said what?
Who makes the decision about these 53,000 folks? Oh, it's going to be everybody except the elderly, children, and I guess those with mental health or some type of accident, something of that sort. I know he said children, and I know he said those folks that are, elderly.
Don't
But I was thinking to myself, what about the ones that are physically unable, paraplegic, bedridden, and they're not elderly? What about the ones that have some type of defect? Something has affected you that you cannot go to work, like you got hurt at work and they've classified you as incapable of doing some type of medical issue. Well, what about those? So it was almost to me, as I saw the announcement. Did you see the announcement? Did you see the announcement?
No, I did not see that announcement.
It was almost to me like they were applauding the fact that they came up with an idea to help out some of, but not all, some of the SNAP benefit people. But we're going to leave out 53,000 of y'all that are able to get out here and get a job. And notice something, y'all. I don't know how this works. I really don't. So it makes me pause for a minute. Because who determines that these 53,000 folks can get food on their own? Who determines that? Do y'all know? Well, it makes me wonder, when are we going to get released the information and say, I see why we left out those 53,000 folks. Why? Because you might not be, no kid. You're not part of the elderly. You might have broke your back working, and they have, put you in a position where you are classified as unable to work. But you can do something. You can. Who says so? The governor. And his abilities to determine those folks are who? Some of the folks that work in his office. Hmm. Hmm. So it makes me go, I'm still scared. Because it also makes me scared because it's him as all these decisions. And I don't think that the decision making right now is at its best. That's just me personally. That is not me speaking for somebody. This is me personally. I just don't think that the decision making is at its best. You know what I want to do today? I want to do probably in the 5 o'clock hour. I'm just giving you your P's and Q's here. I want to do as New Orleans turns, not as the police department turns. I'm gonna put them in there, but I want to do in the 5 o'clock hour as New Orleans turns, because I got some stuff to talk about. You had something? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, it's back up again. The board had gone out again.
I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I was saying the board had gone out for a second.
It went out again?
Yeah, but can still hear you on Facebook. He didn't see you on Facebook. So if it goes back out again, keep going, but it's back on now. So I'm just shaking my head. And
Oh, Lord.
don't send any audio to me because I cannot play it.
You can't play it?
Nope.
Bro, I'm going home.
I need a couple of crescent nines.
A what?
I need a couple of crescent nines.
What's that?
That's one of those free your mind drinks.
I've never heard of them.
Oh yeah, it got stuff in it that makes you go woo woo.
Don't give me none of them. Just give me a Stolas vodka and orange juice, and I'm fine.
Oh, but it's not alcohol. This is
No. I want some alcohol. I haven't had a Stolas vodka and orange juice in so long. I'm like, Lord. So let's open up the telephone line. The telephone line's working? They working? Okay. Wait a minute, you're on. Yeah, it's working. All right. See, when you do all this technology stuff, we should have stayed analog in the first place. But all of that technology stuff, when you do that, you give somebody the opportunity to find out your coding, and then the next thing you know, they done messed up all your coding.
Yep.
So I'm going to leave it at that because I can sit up here and say a couple of things about it, but it don't concern me. I'm going to leave it alone. Okay. Well, yeah, I think at the 5 o'clock hour, we'll do As New Orleans Turns with all the stuff that's happening right now between the city. And look, and Joe Ken is on here asking what's the FM for us. You want to tell him or should I? We not on the FM. This show is not. Your mic ain't on. I ain't hear what you said.
Speak your mind.
No, it's the truth. I ain't lying to nobody. I don't want nobody going looking for it and thinking that they're going to hear me. It's actually 107.1. But they elected not to put us on. From what I understand. Am I wrong? Are we on?
Nope.
But we were told that this was one of the main shows that they wanted to put on.
Yep. Let's go to break before you say something that gets us both in trouble.
I cannot hear you chewing.
I said, let's go to break before you get us into trouble.
Oh, if I ain't got us in trouble already, we ain't gonna be in trouble. But I'm just telling y'all because they asking me, and it is the truth. I don't want nobody going to the FM looking for us, and we're not on.
You're not lying.
I don't want to be lying to y'all. So, that ain't got nothing to do with you, ain't got nothing to do with me. It's a decision that was made. I don't even know who made the decision. Do you? Do you know? Because I was told we were going on. I was told by Troy we were going to go on.
I was too.
Okay. All right, take the break.
Trying to grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call
The
today.
New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mic.
The NAACP New Orleans branch invites you to our 2025 Freedom Fund Banquet and Awards Ceremony, a night to uplift and celebrate. Join us Saturday, November 1st from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Xavier University's Center Grand Ballroom. Through your support, dollars fund scholarships, youth programs, and vital community projects. It's keeping the struggle to preserve civil rights current and vigorous. For tickets and information, call 504-460-7765.
Hello, I'm Gary Clark. Please tune in to Dr. Clark 101, The Living Classroom, which is broadcasted weekly every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. on WBOK 12:30 a.m. on your dial. And as always, it's been a pleasure.
WBOK. Listen now on WBOK1230.com.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 a.m.
All right, folks. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I know we're gonna get in trouble today. Oh my goodness, I know we're gonna get in trouble today. So I'm gonna do it as New Orleans turns. I've had some very telling conversations today. Some very big conversations, and then some very little conversations. The little conversations were more about finger pointing. The bigger conversations were, let me tell you why this is happening. And I said, oh boy. Oh boy. Then I saw my stream and I went on my social media looking at streams, and so you can play something. You can play something now, right? Y'all don't make me tell you what happened, because he don't want me to tell you. Oh, Lord. So I knew you'd be able to help us, Lord. But anyway, one of the things that I found, so we still not on FM, right? We're not.
We have never been on FM.
At
One
all?
time we were on FM was when the whole station was on FM.
Yeah.
But when they made the switch, nope.
Oh. Maybe that'd be a good idea just to start up my own show and put it on myself. Not on the FM, but maybe I just start my own.
Let me get a sip of this water right.
But anyway, here we go. I'm looking back, and I'm seeing where the finger pointing is going. And the reason why I'm seeing where the finger pointing is going is because I notice that the ones that seem to be making decisions are having to clarify with the audience, those that's paying attention. Here's what's going on. What? Here's what's going on. Well, let me tell you this, and let me tell you that. Like this, like that, like this, y'all. Like this, like that, like this, y'all. And it made me dig a little bit deeper into the pot of old wisdom. And the pot of old wisdom poked his big old head up and he said, "Don't believe the hype." What? Don't believe the hype. Yeah, boy. Because all this info that's voluntarily coming out, there seems to be a bigger story. And that seems to be bigger story is usually the story of, let me get in front of this before somebody else tell it and I got to daggone come back afterwards. So let me get in front of it. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Anybody that's been in politics or you had to do all these different policies of trying to get in front of stories before it becomes a big disaster for you and your new administration, you make sure that you be the lead and not the tail. Don't try to shoo-shoo it. There is no shoo-shooing in politics. Everybody knows something. Anybody that's under the sound of my voice that's been in politics, there is no let's keep it hush-hush. Oh, you can say that all you want to, but somebody gonna tell it. Somebody gonna tell it. Ain't no privacy. Ain't no trust in politics. Who you trusting? Somebody gonna tell it. Then somebody else gonna tell it. So what you learn in politics, if something does leak out and it got something to do with you, you better get in front of it and tell it, because if you let somebody else tell it, they gonna tell it the way that it came out. Then the next person gonna tell it and gonna add a little something to it. Then the next person gonna tell it and it's gonna be 400 different ways when it come back to you. You better get in front of it beforehand. Because if you don't, it's going to come back raw. Can somebody say uncooked? Can somebody say meat off the bone? Can y'all say USDA? And what you don't want to do is have a whole bunch of rumors flying around before you even take charge. So I called some people. I can't tell y'all the people that I called, but I called some people today, and I said, it seems like, and I don't know if y'all been listening to this, but it seems like there is a consortium of people who want to take this whole cluster, you know what, I almost said it, and blame all of it on TD. We went off again? Okay. We back up. They want to put everything, that's every, but in my terms it's Mm-hmm. They want to put everything on TD. This high administration, the Cantrell administration didn't do this and they didn't do that. The Cantrell administration left us in a really big, bad cluster, you know what? The Cantrell administration, I think there are some things that we need to know about. Number one, Was Cantrell lied to? That's number one. Number two, was this information about this budget? What's the dates that they found out that all of this was happening? Did they know before the election? Anybody answering that question? I'm asking. Did they know before the election and just continue to operate like everything was willy-nilly until y'all got the final results? Because it might affect somebody's election polls or their numbers. Did you all know this before this election? Is that a good question to ask? I think it is. The other part of this, where is and how come? Well, you know what? I went a little bit further to ask a question, and I was told, oh, no. Said just like that. I can't tell y'all who said it, but whoever, I know they listening right now, so they know who I'm talking about. They're probably cracking up, probably sitting on the sofa with a thing of popcorn, laughing their butt off because I'm saying it this way. Because immediately when I said, how come he wasn't brought to the table? They said, oh, no. Oh, no, Tonto. No. Oh, no. And that question went, doesn't the city council usually reach out and ask for help? Okay, they did one time before, went over everybody in the city. That's, well, they did what? They went over everybody in the city. Let me say that again. Everybody in the city, not every, but everybody, including your own law enforcement, which was actually the person that I thought that you call first. Y'all call him first for everything else. Well, who would that be? The Inspector General? Oops. Ain't nobody called him yet. Boy, Ed Michelle is sitting around quieter than a hoe in church. Shh. Say, bro, we got a job to do next hour. We're going to see, can we figure out what does it sound like when a rat is peeing on cotton? We're going to see what that sounds like. Next hour, y'all. Everybody hold tight. News is next.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. President Trump is cutting the U.S. refugee cap to 7,500 for 2026, down from 125,000 under former President Biden. The White House says priority will go to white South Africans facing, quote, racial discrimination, end quote. Trump previously claimed South African white farmers were being persecuted and killed. Black Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson's approval rating has inched up from 26 to 31%, according to a Change Research poll. The survey follows criticism over budget cuts and his opposition to immigration raids. Only 40% support a proposed $21 per employee head tax on large businesses. In a political clash is growing between Black Maryland Governor Wes Moore and Senate President Bill Ferguson over holding a special session on redistricting. Moore supports it to counter GOP-led map changes, while Ferguson warns it could backfire on Democrats. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Technology is a bruh.
We can't continue to operate this way. And as much as I hate to say this, this is not excellence as we be talking. Yeah, y'all can hear me, but we can't. Does that mean he?
Check and see if Roberto is there.
Rano.
This is Roberto.
That is him.
How are you?
We got him. Okay, he's there. What you say?
I just wanted to hear you was alluding to the Inspector General, and I'm just sitting on the end of my chair to know what's going on. Because I thought I'm at a point now with the Inspector General and the Independent Police Monitor. We need to just let them officers go. I just don't see it. I'm tired of it, bro. We didn't vote for this. What we voted for, what we're paying for, we're not getting it. And it's nothing personal, but we got an Independent Police Monitor, got a volunteer information. We voted for subpoena power. Box number 74 in the New Orleans Main Library had the same powers as the Office of OMI. Mm-hmm. And we were looking at something, they took it away. The Inspector General, with this here budget, I thought, as you say, it brought it to my attention. They would be out front. They talk to them first. They're the pros. This is what they do.
Not said a word. Not said one word.
I know. So I'm leading the thing. We're gonna do budget cuts. You just tell me what have those two officers done.
All right.
Now, how much money they have to clear? I'd rather get that to the police department. Me, give it to the fire department, the police department, their budget. It's out because at the end of the day, they haven't. I'm nothing. I don't get it. And for the life of me, I don't get it, and I don't see any way that they're gonna make that up. Because again, if you don't have, you got to ask them. Can you give the report? If you don't mind, you can't subpoena it. You can't get it. Once you get it, if they don't want to tell you something, they don't have to tell you. There's nothing you can do. And we did not vote for that. Now, I even wrote up legislation, Gerard, to make it to the legislature, to put it forward on the books, right, to make it official. But that's another story for another day. But at the end of the day, as a citizen, we're going to lose money for the police, NORD, and all the services that we need in the city. And we got two entities not doing nothing, haven't done a thing. So I know they got nice little salaries in it, so we just need to abolish them, period. And I had confidence in both of the officers and their personnel, but now when we really need to know what's really going on, like you said, quiet as a church house mouse,
Well.
So I don't know, bro. Come in. I'm on that crusade to make it work. Because how they say, what's really just the goings on, right?
I'm just looking around and saying to myself that this is unheard of in the situation that we're going through, and now I think a lot of the funk is rising to the top.
Yes.
And now that it's been exposed, I really do believe, without me saying it, I really do believe that there's more to it than what's being told.
Yes. Yes.
And boy, we just need to, you and I just need to talk.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, when it does settle, it's not looking good for the home team. Trust me.
But think about something though for a minute, and that is, anytime you talk about government waste or who's doing what, you remember Ed Michelle was the first one to be writing and doing investigations.
Yeah,
he did an investigate. He even did an investigation on Michelle Woodfork.
That's right.
Remember, he did one on Susan. He did one on
right
and it wasn't asked for.
Right.
He talked about Michelle Woodfork, about her spending money buying what was that, tires and
tires and stuff. Right. I remember that.
Yeah. And nobody asked him to do it.
Well, look, I got a text just came in and said, well, of course, he had racial charges pressed against him, against the office.
Well, he had not only those, but I mean, he had those. Remember that memo, which we all got a copy of it, and that was him talking bad about the police monitor, talking bad about Susan, talking bad about Woodfork when she was interim.
Yeah.
He talked bad about all of them, but I'm just trying to figure out where you at right now, and how come out of those 7 folks, nobody said this would be a job for the Inspector General to look at. We pay him $5 million a year. That's his budget.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Those $5 million. I don't have a problem giving it to the police and Nord or any other department. At least we're gonna get something out of it.
Yep.
We're not getting up now. I'm looking forward to hearing.
If you making $5 million a year in your budget, I want to make sure that you are getting your money's worth.
Well, I know they listen to council. Take it from me. We need to look at streamlining those departments back and put that money to use in other departments. Public safety is my concern.
Yep.
Whether it's fire, EMS, police, the sheriff, public safety, because we know what it is at the sheriff. And, people don't understand. It takes a rare, different person to work in a prison, to work in a jail.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be a very special, and it's not for everybody. Everybody can't do it. And you still never get used to what transpired there.
Mm-hmm.
Things transpire you wouldn't believe out the wildest imagination. And when you hear talk about public safety, folks really don't understand. And I'm kind of curious because I know being a police on the street, you're equipped with a car, a radio, taser, a gun, and all that. But in the jail, you have a radio and handcuffs.
That's it.
That's it. And you got to deal with some of the worst on the face of the earth, and you got to have the mind and the heart to survive.
Look, and I saw you walking around one day. I was like, "What is that in your hand?" You was like, "Bruh, that's a shank." I'm like, "What?" Yes. They took it off the windowsill and made it into a shank. I'm like, "What in the world?"
A sword. It was a sword. It is what it is. But here's the data. Somebody can look it up. We got 800,000+ federal inmates with under 200,000 guards. Just imagine you go. This age group is gone. This generation gone. You drive from New Orleans to Baton Rouge every day to work. That's 54 miles. So at the federal facilities, you may have one guard that's supervising maybe 100, 200 men.
Right.
This is reality.
Yep.
The correction system, the criminal justice system within the prison is a whole new animal, and it takes a very, very special person and persons, men and women, to deal with it because you're dealing with people that's at the lowest point in their life.
They ain't got nothing to lose.
Making a bad decision.
Yep.
And they made a bad decision. You say nothing to lose, and you have to have that certain thing. You have to be compassionate to a degree. You have to be firm, fair, and direct. But after all of it, you have to have care, custody, and control.
Yep.
And I've been associated with that system almost 50 years. In high school, we played basketball for $2 an hour, and I've been under 5 sheriffs. And just let me tell you for the record, just so I need to say this. I heard a lot of people saying that the sheriff had a raggedy jail. The sheriff does not sit at the table when they're buying equipment for the jail.
Nope.
I'm here to tell you right now. Right now, they're building another jail, and we are not at the table.
Not at the table.
And
That's the city council.
It is, when they built OJC, Mr. Guzman was not at the table, not because he didn't want to. The city had their own mindset on it. And some of that stuff that they made that jail faulty, that had nothing to do with Mr. Guzman. They put it in his lap. This is how we do it. And I'm going to say what I say. Go back to capital improvement. When you find all these regular buildings and change orders, that has nothing to do with the director, the property manager, has nothing to do with the sheriff, has nothing to do with the police. It's the people in capital improvement. And folks that's in city government know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one department we might need to look at. When you get old equipment that doesn't work, outdated stuff, they're the ones sit at the table and do it. Right now, this is how it's done. When we saw the pool at Treme, that had nothing to do with North officials. That was capital improvement. And they bought the stuff that was outdated in the whole 9 yards. So let's put it where it's at. And I heard people say, Mr. Guzman did this, and then they say Ms. Hudson doing that. That's not the truth.
Mm-mm.
It's capital improvement that sit at the table, bottom line. Now, I'm a big boy. I'll say it once and say it twice, and I can show it to you. I've been with the city in this thing almost 40-something years. I've seen it done, all right? And nobody never checked their record. Nobody check who they bring in there, right? They don't check it. So, again, let's take that $5 million from Inspector General, and let's take the money from the independent police monitor, abolish those two departments. We voted for it. We should be able to abandon them and put the money to good use because they're not serving us. We haven't got anything from it, and they got some good investigators. They know what to do. So let's get on the job and do it. So let's say in the next 10 days, I'm going to say in the next 10 days, if we don't hear from the Inspector General on this city council and the money and all this stuff, we need to have a movement to abolish the office, period. Take the money and put in the budget. That'll eliminate some of the furloughs that we're going to be dealing with. It's just that simple. I don't know why we got to make it any other way.
Nope.
We should demand that.
They ain't doing
nothing, Gerard.
They're not doing anything.
Right. And, well, we need to do that.
Yeah.
But I know these two-foot quarters fake community actors, they're probably gonna get them on the side and give them a consulting contract. They're gonna shut up, but that's how it go. You know how that go already. But I'm just gonna tell you right now, they don't give me nothing. I ask them, I don't want nothing. But I'm gonna tell you right now, call out the Inspector General office. I have a lot of confidence in you. I know you guys know what to do. The next 10 days, say something that you're gonna look into what happened with this money with the city council.
Yep.
All right, and they have subpoena power for real, and then so does the council. Because I heard there was to say, where's the former CEO? You don't have to do nothing but subpoena him back to the table.
That's all.
Period.
That's all.
You don't have to make no noise. You have to stun on me. We know the game. You are subpoenaed before the council put it all on the table. Now I noticed that the news media showed some scripts saying one thing, but then again they showed the one where they said everything was okay, and then they came back. They never showed the one that said it wasn't okay. All right, I'm telling you, the news media, I'm not feeling them too much either because they're not playing it fair. Right now in New Orleans, and I can say it again, when black folks do a crime, you see the picture. When white people, you don't. Come on, y'all, talk to me.
Yes, indeed.
Right? Yeah, so we there. All right, 10
all right,
days,
Rono.
Inspector General. 10
Thank you, brother.
days, 10 days. We need to hear from you.
10 days.
10 days.
Got you. All right, my brother.
You have a trick and a treat. All right, thank you again.
Appreciate it. All right, Galloway.
What's going on, Brother G? How you doing, man?
I'm glad you called me back because I don't know what's wrong with these phones over here today.
That monkey got a hold to you.
He's still on the
you
loose. How the monkey
messing with that monkey. That monkey came and got his props back. That monkey was listening to the radio.
That monkey said, catch me if you can. I'm out of here.
Yeah. That monkey, the monkey said, let me listen to the black folks. They going to tell the truth. He said, them other folks going to make jokes, but them black folks going to tell the truth. And the monkey said, you talking about me?
Yep.
You know I'm free, and you talking about me?
And they listening to them other folks. They like, come on back. We ain't going to do nothing. Then we out there telling them they shooting them and killing the monkeys.
Yeah, the monkeys. I'm telling you. But, hey, G, your last caller, that's what I was going to get on before I talk about the news media. That Inspector General, that joker crooked as a roach leg. Somebody need to investigate the Inspector General. I don't know who it can be, but somebody need to investigate him. You ask when did they know? Brother G, them folks knew probably in January how bad this was.
Yep.
But they wanted this to be this horrible until the election was over with. Then they thought it was going to be a quick, easy fix. There's no quick, easy fix for this $160 million. This ain't $5 from the church buildings fund that you're looking for. Y'all know how bad this was. This media, I'm going to call you by name. WWL, you're the worst. You're worse than Fox News. Fox 8, WDSU, WGNO, Times-Picayune. Y'all have all adopted the same Trump narrative. Blame the administration. The Cantrell administration, all of them have said the same thing.
Yep.
I said they must have sat around somewhere and said, we're going to all say this. Listen, if you're going to blame that administration and nobody out of the city council, what's really going on? Who's paying y'all to say this stuff? That's what I'm looking at. Show me one thing about any one of those newspapers I named that said anything negative about the city council. Any member of the city council.
Nothing.
They are none of them, right? They are trying to make it seem like black people don't know how to handle anything. All these black mayors that we've had, they always try to paint some type of weird picture. And then when you really find out, we might find out 5-10 years from now how really bad the city council under Helena and Red Bottoms really were. But right now, they have the power, they have the media manipulating, and that's dangerous. Because you're going to have people believing that the sun rises in the west and sets in the north because the media is being told that by the city council. Just say this, say this. And you will have folks confused like that.
Right.
Be real. It's a done deal. What you ought to do, open up everything.
And that's what I
feel. Let the chips fall.
That's what I'm
feeling.
Let
the chips fall where they may. If it's the mayor's fault, put it on the mayor. It's the city council fault, put it on the city council. It's both of y'all fault, which we all know it's everybody's fault. When you don't like somebody, you don't want to work with somebody. So when it gets hard or something messes up, we can point fingers at each other instead of working together. And that's what happened. But what you're really doing is going to hurt folks. You said something very important today when you talked about the SNAP and benefits. Who's going to get what? Who's going to get left out? Who's going to get it? You do have some folks that's riding the system. Then you do have some folks that absolutely need the system. And people don't understand that. You got some folks that are in their 20s that are bedridden. You got some folks that's been hurt on their job that cannot work. They have to be fed by somebody. Are you gonna cut him out? Are you gonna cut his caretaker out?
All right.
And look, what's the day? The 30th? You only got about 2 days to figure out who's gonna get what. Think about that, man. I hear the music, brother. Thanks for taking my call. You have a good one, and leave that monkey alone, man.
I'm letting that monkey run. Be free. Be free.
Well, tell him to run. Tell him to go walk with Helena. Thank goodness she ain't driving. We don't need no more accidents.
Don't be bumped. Don't. Oh, brother. No. I ain't even going to see it. Yeah, that was too easy. I'm gonna
Allow
let that
me
go.
to say it.
Yeah, let that go. Let it go. All right, Galloway. Galloway go too far. He go too far. And then hang the phone up.
Oh.
And then he said, bumping the monkey.
In the words of Donna?
Oh, yes, indeed. He said, let him go bumping with the monkey. Brother be throwing some undershots all the time.
Just go to break, bro. Please, just go to break.
We're going to bump the monkey and leave out of here in a minute. But I'm getting ready to do it. I need you to find my music, yeah? All right, more coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. Since taking over the newly merged film and TV behemoth Paramount Skydance, CEO David Ellison has made no secret that he's interested in growing the business with big-time media deals and recently has his eyes set on WB Discovery. Ariel Investments founder and chairman John Rogers is no stranger to investing in the entertainment space, and he says a deal to buy WB Discovery makes a lot of sense for someone in Ellison's position.
There's huge synergies, huge cost cuts that are available. You have two major studios. Maybe you could sell one of the studios and studio lot and all the real estate value that's there. But also just, again, extraordinary amount of synergies that are there, extraordinary amount of cost cutting that's there. And we put it all together. I think there's this real potential of a merger like that would happen.
Ariel Investments is one of the largest black-owned investment firms. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Cindy Wynn isn't just a leader. She's our neighbor, a mom, a hard worker, and someone who cares about every family in our community. On Election Day, vote number 55, Cindy Wynn District E.
I'm Cindy Wynn, and I approve this message.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter. From real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mic.
Join me, Dr. Jaquil Ross of New Schools for New Orleans for Talk That, NOLA Education. This Monday, we'll be joined by NOLA Public School representatives to discuss the New Orleans Common Application for the upcoming school year. Be sure to tune in Monday at 12:30 p.m. on 12:30 a.m.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 12:30 a.m. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 12:30 a.m.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget at 6 today, Carrie and Artie are going to be up in here and have some more conversation with you. Mm-hmm. Well, it's about that time. It's about that time.
It's about that time.
It's about that time.
It's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, as New Orleans turns. We join this episode, as we all have heard now, that the system is screwed. We're joining into this conversation as we're finding out certain things aren't adding up. Pardon the pun. Aren't adding up. You get it? Aren't. Never mind. But anyway, everybody is appalled. Everybody's listening and saying, did they say they're going to furlough us? Did they say they're going to have to fire some of us? Do you know that Bayou Classic coming up? Oh, not even Bayou Classic. What about Thanksgiving? And Christmas? After we got the Orange Man in Washington, D.C. saying, by the way, no more snap. You can't get no snap. Who's snapping? Not that snap. Oh. What?
Lil Jon snap.
Huh?
Lil Jon snap.
Yeah. So, we can't get no snap. And by the way, who said you can leave them 53,000 folks out? Are there some folks that are gaming the system? Uh-huh. But did they qualify for SNAP benefits? Uh-huh. And you're leaving them out? Uh-huh. I wonder how many of it is us out of the 53,000. But yet, we're the least number of folks that's on SNAP. That's one issue I got. Here's the other issue I got. You said we $160 million in the raw. Oh, baby. Next time, could you at least kiss me? My question is now, who knew, boo-boo? Somebody had to know before this even hit the dough. Because all these memos that have been produced, y'all trying to tell me y'all use that as a paperweight to hold your Coke, your tea, your little drinky drinks on the desk and didn't read it? Then how come the Inspector General has not been brought into what could be publicly known as malfeasance? How come the Inspector General has not been brought to the table to say, who knew, boo-boo? Who knew? Is it because of that former letter that came out, of that memo that said he's having these clandestine meetings with these officials that he's not supposed to be meeting with in his office with no Inspector Generals in there taking notes? When was that? A year ago? 2 years ago? And nobody brought it to the table? And as a matter of fact, y'all even re-upped the contract, huh? So, with all this being said, why is he not looking into it? Because more than likely, somebody gonna ask, like Noonie. Noonie Man. Y'all know Noonie Man is in court with him right now, saying produce your information so that we'll know. That's public information. So he won in court. Noonan won in court because he said no. And Noonan won in court. So they took him to court. He said yay. He appealed. So now the Fourth Circuit, with 3 black females, are holding up the court date. As Scooby-Doo would say, ruh-roh, and huh? They're holding up the court date. You know, when you appeal, when you go to the Fourth Circuit, they usually come back within a week or two and say, yay or nay. How come they've been taking so many weeks to say yay or nay? Are we hiding something? Because it's Halloween. Boogity, 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 boo. Are we hiding something because all of this might come to light and you might find out who the Inspector General was meeting with? And it might be one of the officials that ran for election and might be serving in some office right now or getting ready to serve in an office as they get ready to get sworn in next year because you were giving him the scoop. You know what the scoop is. Trying to make him look like you can get this person, you can get that person. He looked like he is the boogeyman. Well, there's more. There's more. How come? We're sitting there watching the city council meetings and we're telling your superintendent, hey, that overtime thing is a problem. You need to try to manage that. And then there was somebody that flew into the city council chambers with a cape on. He had on his daggone tight outfit. And he was standing there at the dais with his hands on his hip.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who is it? It's Super Negro. It was Super Negro that said, I have something to say that's going to pertain to your leadership, but I need to say it. No, Super Negro, no, Super Negro, don't do it. I must do it. All right, Super Negro, go ahead. You know, I was probably the only person sitting at this dais that said to you, I'm not going to vote for you, but I was probably 1 out of the 7 because I really feel that our local folks could take care of this. What has happened since then, Super Negro? Super Negro said, first of all, look what happened with our first of the year festivities. Now we're looking at another one within 6 months to say, you're the biggest spender of overtime than anybody else. And thirdly, it was stated in the memo, because I think that Super Negro told him real quick, fast, and in a hurry, and very politely, Grandma, you know we got this in writing right here. This came from Super Negro. And she said to Super Negro as she got ready to get out of there, I know what I'm doing, and I'm more than just swell. No, you were swole because you got hit in the jaw with that one. And now we're finding out from Super Negro, we just need you all to stay within your budget and da-da-da-da-da. And all of the other children, the 7 dwarfs, said, hi-ho, hi-ho. Super Negro is off he goes, with the shovel and the pick and the dynamite stick. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho. Super Negro flashed his cape and he took off up into the wild blue yonder. And now that Super Negro has taken off and gone into the wild blue yonder, Grandma came out with a vengeance in the media and said, Wait a minute, hold up. Let me tell y'all something. What, Grandma? I'm telling you, I don't give a damn, because I am not going to jeopardize public safety for no dollars. I don't care what Super Negro and them said. What, whoa? Here comes Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo said, huh? Shaggy? This bitch crazy. I said, Super Negro, where'd Super Negro go? Super Negro said, I said what I said. But Grandma said, I don't care what you said. I'm not jeopardizing public safety for no money. Before you say that again, Grandma, you need to understand something. Your salary is probably one of them salaries that they considering as a very big expenditure in the budget. Well, that ain't all. I was listening and watching all of the wrangling that's going on. And then all of a sudden, it got real quiet. And then Snow White came on. You know who Snow White is. Snow White said, hi, everybody. Before I take over on my new administration, let me tell you what's going on. Tell us, Snow White, tell us. Well, it looks like some of these expenditures we're not going to be able to do, and yeety, and yeety. But before we go any further, let me tell you the 411, baby. Let me tell you the 411, because what had happened was there was a big old argument that happened between Snow White and the Wicked Witch. You know who the Wicked Witch is? Liz Merrill. Yeah. Miss Liz said, y'all gonna do what I said y'all gonna do, because y'all ain't getting the money from the bond commission unless y'all do what I said do. And then she took her big hairy nuts and put them on the table. You know what sound it made? There you go. Everybody was like, ooh, those are some big hairy nuts. Ooh, they're kind of thick too. You need to pee or something? What's going on? Good Lord. And all of a sudden, they were like, let's all get together. And then here come Piggly Wiggly. You know who Piggly Wiggly is. Yeah, had on his red tennis shoes and everything. Mr. Red Box, he comes in and says, all right. Let's get together. And let's all stand in unity. And tell this so that she'll be quiet and she'll know we're not going to the bond commission. We just gonna put this out ourselves. We gonna take care of this. I was like, wow, somebody else got some big hairy nuts. There you go. You really caught on. And then as I'm watching this, I saw at the last minute a Negro came in and disguised as a city council person. I was like, is this the one that we saw that kind of made them say, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all getting ready to go up here and try to get this money, and they're going to put somebody in place to be your financial advisor. And they said, and I don't know if anybody knew this or not, if you're not paying attention, you find out that they said, Liz Merrill and the rest of her crew, that person will be put in place indefinitely. Will have the power to write contracts, will have the power to okay contracts or say no to contracts. People that you're going to hire, you basically are handing over the city of New Orleans for how long? Forever and ever.
Forever, ever?
And ever,
Forever,
ever.
ever, ever?
And ever, ever. Yeah. So now, we've gotten here. Now we got to take the consequences of misspending, misappropriations of money, and all the rest of the things that I think should be brought up. Because I still have not heard from Ed Michelle. Shh. Hold on. Hold on for a minute. Can you hear? You hear that? You heard that? That's a rat peeing on cotton. That's what it sounds like. Silent. And I'm thinking to myself, at the end of the day, there's going to be a whole lot of doo-doo that's going to come out. Because not only are we in a crisis with our finances, they're going to piss the wrong people off. And somebody going to say something because now they pulling vendors' contracts. Now they're looking at recall stuff. They're not going to be paying people on time. I'm telling you that there's going to be a whole lot. Did I say a whole lot of stuff that's going to come out. All these little funky deals, all these little take care of your friends stuff. And it's going to be some desperate people here in the next couple of weeks. I hope that this city can stand it, because you're going to find out quick, fast, and in a hurry who really got the big balls. And that is today's World of New Orleans as New Orleans turns. We got to take our break. We'll take our break here. We'll come back, answer some telephone calls. Everybody hold tight.
AURN News.
Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell made it clear that the Fed is treading carefully after cutting interest rates by a quarter point to a range of 3.75 to 4%. Powell said another cut in December is not a foregone conclusion. He told reporters that the shutdown has delayed key government data, forcing the Fed to rely on private indicators showing slower hiring and inflation still above target at 2.8%. Powell said the labor market is gradually cooling while tariffs are adding temporary pressure to prices. He acknowledged deep divisions within the committee. Some members want to pause, others want deeper cuts, but said the Fed is trying to balance two risks: higher inflation and weaker job growth. Powell also announced the Fed will stop shrinking its balance sheet in December after reducing holdings by $2.2 trillion. Powell signaled the Fed will wait for clearer data before taking next steps. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Here's the latest episode of our political theater. Governor Jeff Landry, who fancies himself as a disciple to President Donald Trump, was smacked down a few days ago by the New Orleans City Council in his attempt to take over city finances. With the city of New Orleans facing a potentially devastating $160 million budget deficit, the City Council had requested that the State Bond Commission approve a bridge loan to cover the city payroll through the end of the year. Now, the loan wouldn't cost taxpayers or the state any money. The city would use existing revenues to repay the loan come January. In his argument against the loan, Governor Landry contends the city needs to learn a lesson to fix its own financial problem rather than rely on state-backed debt. The governor and the state attorney general, however, demanded that the city of New Orleans install a state-appointed fiscal administrator to run the city's finances in exchange for the loan. The city council says that will never happen and has now withdrawn its loan request approval from the bond commission. Critics accuse the governor of using the New Orleans financial crisis as a power grab to get his hands on city finances. And it should escape no one that the city of New Orleans accounts for 23% of the state of Louisiana's budget. Now imagine that revenue in the authoritarian hands of our wannabe authoritarian governor. Perhaps I'm overthinking the governor's intentions, but power grab or not, his position to oppose a sound fiscal request from the city council appears to be a jackass move to me. This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Wake up your taste buds at Inner City Brews and Bistro, home of the one-of-a-kind peach cobbler pancakes. Start your day with our soulful breakfast favorites. Then come back for bold cocktails and those oh-so-good Creole flavors that always hit just right. In the heart of Treme, every bite feels like home. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. and find us at 1401 St. Bernard Avenue. Inner City Brews and Bistros, uniquely New Orleans, deliciously unforgettable.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, The Arnie and Cary Show.
2517 Bunny Road is the place to be. Now those kids was in pictures.
Late night and still hungry? We've got you. Strong drinks, old school jams, and plates that hit every time. From breakfast classics to flavors that feel like home. Cool vibes, fast service, and the party doesn't stop till you do. This Saturday night, we're keeping it live till 2 a.m. Pull up to 2517 Bayou Road. Nano's is the place to be. Good food, good music, good people. Come hungry, leave happy.
You've got responsibilities, but that doesn't mean your dreams are on hold. At Southern University at New Orleans, our evening and weekend college is designed with your life in mind. Finish your degree, start a new one, on your time, your degree, your schedule. No excuses, just opportunity. Visit suno.edu and make your next move today.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
Hey, Pontchartrain Park. Thanks for listening to WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Hey everyone, as you all know, this week the City Council was going to go before the State Bond Commission to ask for approval for us to go to a bank and get a loan to cover city services for the rest of the year. Unfortunately, the State Attorney General has put a contingency that for that approval to happen, we must then allow for a fiscal administrator to come in and take over really city operations for the city of New Orleans. Unfortunately, I cannot be for that kind of state takeover. No way, no how. And I can tell you that the City Council stands united around that, as does our local delegation and our Congressman Troy Carter. But, you know, ultimately there will be consequences to the fact that the Attorney General apparently does not want us to figure out a path to get our funding. And those consequences will mean some severe cuts here in the city, everything from overtime, including public safety agencies, which means that potentially we'll have cancellation of events. We're taking a look at, pausing vendor payments, taking a look at, potentially lax city services. I mean, there are a lot of implications to all of this. I certainly am hoping that cooler heads will prevail and we can all get into a room and figure this out. The Attorney General put out a statement that she said that I was refusing to put in place any significant type of safeguards around this funding should we be able to get this loan from a banking institution. And that's absolutely false, considering that this morning the city council had an emergency meeting to pretty much embed the state legislative auditor and the inspector general in the finance department for the city, launching an investigation. And also we set requirements that the city must do these weekly constant reports to the state legislative auditor so he can ensure that everything is on the up and up. So I'm willing to do all types of oversight measures, but I'm not going to have a state fiscal administrator come in and take over the city of New Orleans. So unfortunately, this is the situation that we are in. Please let the state attorney general know that this is not the path that we want, but hopefully we can all work together to figure out a path that is workable, where the council and the people of New Orleans can feel comfortable, as can the state of Louisiana. I still believe that is possible. And so I hope that, once again, politics can be pushed to the side and cooler heads can prevail.
Michael? You gone? All right, Kevin. No?
Hello.
Kevin?
Hey, yeah. Man, look, I hear some very intelligent people on this radio program, some of the citizens of the city, talking about what particularly got my attention when the fellow was talking about the people who make decisions for the prisons and stuff like that. I don't see how anyone can make decisions for a particular department without the input of the people who are actually running that department. I think that's a formula for disaster as we can see it now. The problem is this: we don't have serious heads in the city to get together, and this is my argument every time I call this radio station, to get together with your friends and the people who are intelligent in your sphere of influence, and sit down and figure out how can we impact these particular dysfunctions in our community. Look, no one's going to take care of us like us, and ultimately, the citizens of this city, black, white, and other, are going to suffer the consequences if we don't be accountable for our input in how things are addressed in the city by the government that's supposed to be representing, and I emphasize representing us. We don't work for them. They don't just collect checks. They're supposed to be it's like me hiring a contractor, and then the contractor is dictating what I'm getting. Hell, we are the people who paying the bill. We have to have some accountability. So we have to get together in our groups, even though we're not officials. We're intelligent people, and get together and say, look, we know how this runs, or if we don't know how it runs, we're going to sit in at the table where they make it possible for us to know it as citizens, and then hold people accountable for not being intelligent agents, representatives for us.
Yeah.
Until the citizens of the city start being accountable, whether they're on the paycheck. Matter of fact, it's probably better that the citizens aren't on the paycheck,
okay,
because then we can come up with actual, legitimate, practical solutions to the way they're spending our money.
Okay, I got you. Look, I hate to cut it short, but he didn't start the music up, so I got to run. But I appreciate
Thank you, man. Thank you for what you do. I always want to thank you, man.
All
for
right,
what
Kev.
you do.
Talk to you later.
All right,
y'all. That's going to wrap things up for me. I appreciate it. I'm sorry we didn't get to everybody, but we got to rule out. My producer said, you out of here. We'll see you on tomorrow, y'all.